Hey, Karen, did you get your patch yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, it looks like the Star of David.
What? Hello, this is Karen.
And this is Kevin.
And this is Right From Us. You know, when I saw that article, I about pooped my pants.
Yeah, and
That
where is
was, I
this
think
at?
my mouth actually dropped open.
Where
I
is
was like,
this? It's,
what?
in Tennessee somewhere, this T-shirt shop is selling these stickers in the shape of a Star of David. It's yellow. That says "Not Vaccinated."
Why does that sound familiar? Isn't that sick? I think people have lost their ever-loving minds on this COVID vaccine stuff. I mean, just have lost their minds on this. A Tennessee hat shop has come under fire for selling not vaccinated stick-on patches modeled after the yellow stars Jews were forced to wear in Nazi-occupied Europe. Patches are here, crowed the Instagram account of Hatworks in Nashville, below a picture of an unidentified woman sporting the tasteless patch. The post, which was later deleted, went on to note that the badges were $5 a piece and featured a very strong adhesive back. The store also promises they'll be offering trucker caps soon. The advertisement was met with outrage on Twitter, with users calling for the store to be boycotted.
So she deleted the tweet. So does it on Twitter? Doesn't it still show that there was a tweet there or something?
I don't know, but
I think you can go. I don't know. I'm not on Twitter, but I think you can go to your deleted tweets, and it would still be.
I don't know.
There.
I don't really delete my tweets, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
It goes on to say, I could not believe this could be for real. CNN analyst Anna Navarro reacted, I like to think such stupidity, insensitivity, and ignorance in America cannot be commonplace. It's real. I think it's funny that a CNN person said that.
She's probably a CNN viewer.
I mean, really, what is this woman thinking? That is the most insensitive, gross, disturbing, disgusting thing.
A lot of people that have been vaccinated are extremely proud of it.
But of all the things that she could have picked, she picked a yellow Star of David.
That is true. Why didn't you just put like a...
I mean, even if she claims she didn't know anything about Nazi Germany,
yeah,
you can't possibly, out of everything she could have picked,
that's true.
She picked the yellow Star of David.
True. That is true. How did she pick that?
So that had to have been intentional. And that is disgusting. So is she trying to equate non-vaccinated people with Jews in Nazi Germany?
Well,
wow.
Yeah, why else would she pick that?
That is terribly wrong and gross.
Yeah, we've got people getting tattoos of their vaccination cards. Did you see that?
I did see that. You're going to put that on the screen?
Yeah, I'll put that on the screen. It's
that one big, huge COVID virus thing on
with a Band-Aid over it.
Man,
and
guys,
they got the J&J jab apparently on March 16th, and they're proud of it.
It's just so weird to me.
Is that a real tattoo? I mean, that is ugly.
Well, it is ugly.
Would you want that on your arm?
That guy actually has his actual COVID vaccination card tattooed on his arm. Or
yeah,
her arm.
I guess once they get the passports out, that'd be convenient. You just.
And that's probably what they're thinking. They're thinking, heck, who wants to carry around a card? I'll just have it permanently tattooed on my body.
Why not just put it on your forehead?
Jeez, I mean, really, think about
your palm.
Just think about the insanity of this topic right now. People have really lost their minds.
I think we're really going through a mental health crisis.
I really
in this country.
think so too.
Actually, the world.
I think 2020 did. I think it broke people. I think it just broke people.
Well,
I really do. It just because they've just been locked down. They've been fed all of this fear news and the death tolls and all this stuff, and they're just convinced they step one foot out of their house, they're going to die. And I think it broke people. Some people.
Yeah, we still
and I think that's so sad. It's sad,
people,
not funny. It's sad.
Our county finally lifted the mask mandate, and I still see quite a few people with masks. Maybe 1 out of 10 or something like that.
Well, either they don't know or they just don't feel comfortable going without a mask. And you know what? That's okay.
I just wonder if it's people that, the CDC says that if you haven't been vaccinated, you're supposed to still wear a mask.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what they say.
Is that what these people are? Are they people that
Well, maybe.
they're just trying
I
to
just think-
comply with the rules?
I think it's a hodgepodge of people. I think, one, people may not know. Two, they just don't feel comfortable going without a mask, whether they're vaccinated or non-vaccinated. And three, I think there are people that think they're doing the responsible thing and protecting their fellow humans by
Yeah.
wearing a mask because they're not vaccinated for
well, I
whatever
mean, it's
reason.
fine. If you want to, if you feel safer wearing a mask, I think it's great. You know, if that's what you want.
Absolutely, go
I don't have a
for
problem
it.
with it.
I have no problem with it. If
I mean,
that's what you want to
especially
do,
if
then
you're sick.
do it.
Like I was somewhere. This lady was hacking up a storm. It's like I was
Yeah.
just want to say, can you put a mask
I
on,
know.
please?
Actually, you made an interesting observation. We got back from shopping the other night. How the mask mandate is gone now, and how you felt like people were not as clean as they were before.
Well, yeah. Well, I just noticed that at Walmart they used to, after each customer,
Yeah.
they'd spray down the
Right.
checkout stand.
Right.
They're not doing that anymore. So
Which, I mean, to be fair, that's not a bad practice.
yeah, I actually felt
Yeah.
cleaner at when they were cleaning down the station.
Right.
Kind of like after 9/11. Man, I flew right after 9/11. I felt the safest I ever flew because the security was really high.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So there are a few things in this whole pandemic madness chaos that was probably a good thing, and that was
Yeah.
cleanliness. Hey, people, don't forget to wash your hands, which you
Yeah.
should always do. Anytime you go out in public, you should come home and wash your hands immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, just little practices like that ultimately will make you healthier.
Yeah. My uncle and I went to the pizza buffet the other night, and they used to require you to put like a little glove on, which I thought was great.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like 5,000 people aren't touching the same
Right.
spatula,
Right.
But they're not requiring that anymore. So it's
Yeah.
in some ways
Yeah.
some of the things that were happening during the hysteria
Yeah.
were
And
probably pretty good.
Even though it was weird and awkward, those shields that the cashiers have in front of their face, I've noticed quite a few places have done away with those. And to me, I don't have a problem with that because if I'm not going to wear a mask, I mean, just the spittle from you, talking sometimes can come out, and that would protect the cashier from any flyway
the moral
spittle.
of the story is we're never happy. Yeah.
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, when they were requiring all this stuff, we're complaining about it.
No. I'm saying that now that they required it and it was brought to our attention and they made adjustments, that some of those were not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they maybe would be a good idea to keep doing something like that. But the bottom line is you can't make people do something just because a small majority of people are fearful. Like if that small majority of people are fearful, then they need to take precautions and adjust their life. They shouldn't expect everyone else to play into their fear or participate in their fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if
Just
you're
because
fearful,
you want something doesn't
Right.
mean everybody else has to do it.
If you don't want to get out, don't get out. Stay at home, or order online, continue wearing your mask, whatever you want to do. But you shouldn't ask others to participate in your fear. Is basically what the problem was.
You're anything,
Yeah, anything, really.
Just because like you like cashew chicken doesn't mean I like cashew chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you can't force it on me.
Right. That's exactly right.
I just wonder on the cruise, are they gonna allow the food buffet people to handle their own utensils on the food?
See, and
the food
again,
bar?
I think buffets in general, I think maybe there needs to be some changes because, like you said, you've got hundreds of people handling the same tongs,
Yeah.
So, I mean, some changes are probably good. And if anything else, I think it woke people up to the fact, to recognize that there are germs everywhere and that you need to be more careful and more hygienic and blah, blah, blah.
Well, so the flu, there was basically the flu was non-existent this season. So do you think that's
I know that's really odd. It's like
because
it
of
just
that, or do you
didn't
think it's
go away.
because they were counting flu
I think it was
as
both.
COVID?
To be
Probably
honest,
a little bit
I
of
think
both.
it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were counting a lot of flus.
Yeah, just
as
the
COVID.
fact that the flu was basically non-existent is just really
suspect
unrealistic.
in itself,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, but this and then the thing that you brought to my attention just before we started filming I mean, I don't know what to think about this. I am truly puzzled by this. I think
I
part of
actually
it
watched
may
that
be
a
a
few times.
hoax,
Yeah.
but part of me thinks there may be something to it.
Yeah. Are you
So
going to say
keep
what it
an
is?
open mind. Yes, I guess. I mean, okay, if we get banned on YouTube, you can find us on Rumble, by the way. We'll always be on Rumble as well. But there was a video that has come out of people around the country, around the world, really, have discovered this phenomenon where if you've been vaccinated, you can put a magnet to the site where you were vaccinated and it will stick. Now, people are saying it's because you've been. I don't know if that's the case, but these videos, I mean, it could be a hoax. It could be.
I mean,
it could be a hoax.
There are literally hundreds of videos of people putting magnets on their
Now,
vaccination
the part
site.
of the video where it made me go, was where they didn't really stick the magnet to the site. They just kind of they were kind of held it
Put
off
it
to the
close.
side. And then you know how a magnet will kind of
It-
like, what's it called?
Retract,
a reverse.
not retract, but
It's like a reverse
Yeah.
magnetic field or something, isn't it, whenever you're close
Yeah.
to another magnet?
yeah.
So you could see, I have to say that was, unless
That's
it's some kind of magic trick,
I mean,
that's pretty cool. Well,
Some
it's not
of the
cool,
videos,
but
you could just tell by
surprising.
the people's reaction that they were really surprised.
Well, and some people were scared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to watch it and decide for yourself.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the cynical part of me is like, oh, come on. But then again, one of the conspiracy theories for the jab was that, they were inserting microchips into you, which I don't know if that's true or not. But I guess it could be. Nothing's impossible. But what about the jab? What's the word I'm looking for? Not substance. Formula. What if the formula itself had some kind of magnetic
There's
component
nothing in
to
there
it?
that's, there's nothing, none of the chemicals or whatever, there's nothing magnetic in there. So
See, I don't know enough about that to say yay or nay.
I have to say, even though some of the videos look pretty realistic, I have to say that's just not true. And I actually have tried a magnet on my arm. I have not been vaccinated, and it sort of stuck. I could make it stick if I kind of held my arm like that.
Really?
Yeah.
And is it only just because of the angle that you were holding it?
I think so, and just because of the, just the moisture on your skin or the oils on your skin kind of
yeah,
make the
maybe.
magnet stick. I used a really, really, really tiny magnet though.
Oh, those little ones on the fridge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you need to use a bigger one than that.
Yeah.
And these people were using like dime-sized,
Or just like a refrigerator magnet.
which a lot of people were using for sure.
But then again, I think that just the oils in your skin could make something like that
Yeah.
stick.
But they would do both arms, and
Yeah,
the other
that's
arm,
true, and the other
it
arm
wouldn't
would stick. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. Decide for
You have to
yourselves.
watch that.
But
That is
it's
pretty freaky.
It makes you think. It does, and you can almost see instant regret in some of these people's faces when the
like-
magnet would stick. Like, oh crap, what have I just done? So I don't know. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. I'm just saying it's an interesting phenomenon, and it could be a complete hoax. Who knows? You can't trust anything anybody says anymore.
There are literally hundreds of these videos out there.
Yeah, but that's just like the Tide Pods
Yeah.
and all the other stupid fads that go around, and people like, let's try
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, these are the same people.
What could possibly go wrong?
These are the same people that were posting Tide Pod videos.
Yeah,
apparently.
exactly. So I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. But it is kind of interesting to think of the possibilities that perhaps, the government might have lied to us. I know that's just so
Well,
hard for people to believe, but it's
Have you seen?
possible.
Look on number 21. We've got this little graphic about how to decide if you should get the COVID vaccination or not. And on the left, it has critical thinkers, and on the right, it has mainstream people.
Oh, we have to read this. This is great. So critical thinkers,
Ask.
they're asking what's in it, who developed it, who manufactured it, what is their track record, do they have legal liability, how long was it tested for, who is telling me to get it, what is their track record, is it effective, is it necessary for my age, how many side effects reported, and how many deaths reported. And those are pretty much all the questions that we're asking as well. And until some of these questions are answered and some data is shown, that's just why I'm like, no, thank you. But then versus the mainstream normies, the TV says we need herd immunity. All my friends got cute stickers and a card. The TV says I should participate for the greater good. Celebrities, athletes, and musicians all tell me to get it. Government experts and politicians are telling me to get it. I don't want to be considered a conspiracy theorist or a Republican.
Yeah.
That's not on there. I added that last part. But,
Yeah.
But, you know, this is meant to be funny, but it's kind of not funny because it's kind of true.
Yeah.
And I just think that's sad that these are the reasons that people are getting something injected into their body. Like California just gave away their first $5 million to a person that got vaccinated.
That's crazy.
When you have to incentivize people to get a vaccine against a deadly virus, guys, that doesn't add up.
If you're just a regular people if you're just a regular person that doesn't really pay attention to the to anything besides the regular news, wouldn't you just think, well, the government says it's what I should do, so I'll just do it. I'll just get a vaccine. You know, the government, it must be fine. The government says it's okay.
Yeah, I think people put way too much trust in the government, and they lie to us all the time. They don't care about the people. It's all about the agenda, and not just the left. Let's be fair. I mean, people on the right do the same thing. It's all about an agenda and pushing plans and programs and all these other kinds of craps down our throat that we don't need or want. So that alone makes me pause. If it's coming from the government, they're like, trust us, it's good for you.
Well, you know, just the fact that they're really offering all these incentives and just all these perks for getting the vaccine. And
yeah, I know. It's like there's like a COVID lottery now.
Yeah.
In California and
it's like, why?
Ohio,
Why?
I think. Exactly. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
If this is supposed to be
If this is something good for me, I should just want to get it.
Right. Because you don't want to get
without
sick.
getting bribed.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
That should be the only motivation to get the jab.
Yeah, it makes me skeptical when they're offering these incentives.
Right. And not only that, but when there are other proven medications that can help combat the symptoms of COVID that are on the market now and are effective, to me, again, why get the jab when there are medications that are proven effective? Why wouldn't I choose that option over getting a jab?
I bet these medications aren't approved, Karen.
Whatever. There's an article.
They're for animals. They're not for humans.
Number of COVID cases in Delhi crashes after mass distribution of ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
India has
Can we talk about that?
Well, we're going to. India has been suffering horrendously from COVID of late, and the complete death toll may never be known. But in the capital city of Delhi, mass distribution of ivermectin began. I can never say the medication words. For some reason, I have like brain farts. Began, and the results have been stunning. This result is consistent with the results of mass distribution of ivermectin in Mexico City. Yet most doctors in this country refuse to prescribe ivermectin, and most hospitals in this country refuse to administer it, even to seriously ill COVID patients, citing the lack of double-blind studies, which are expensive and time-consuming and which yield no big profits for anyone, since ivermectin is a generic drug with no patent protection. And therein...
There you go.
There you go.
There's the answer right there.
There's the answer right there.
They can't make any money
Follow
off of it.
the money.
Yep.
Follow the money, which makes no sense in their argument, citing lack of double-blind studies.
Well,
as
what about the double-blind studies for the vaccines?
As opposed to no studies for the vaccines.
Yeah.
There's been virtually nothing.
They had trials, like I think wasn't it like 15,000 people went through a trial?
Okay, did you hear what you just said on people? Never a successful animal trial.
Yeah.
People are the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's alarming. And I don't want to be a guinea pig.
So would you rather just not have a vaccine and just let the
I would rather
let
take
the
my chances on
virus
getting
run its
COVID.
course.
Yes, absolutely. When you have a disease that's 99% recovery rate for most people, and I'm a healthy adult with no comorbidities.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I would be just fine.
Yeah, the
I'm pretty
recovery rate
confident in
for
that.
people under the age of 18, I think, is like 99.997. So
Right.
what is that, 0.003%?
So it does, and again, when you hear those statistics, why would a logical thinking person think it makes sense to have 12 to 18-year-olds get vaccinated for this disease that virtually has no effect on them?
Well, but they can spread it to others.
You can spread anything to others. You can spread a common cold, the flu.
You might spread it to grandma.
You can spread anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I don't know. Again,
You're so selfish.
Yeah, we got to talk about that later. By the way, that verbiage that people use to make people feel guilty and comply.
Did you see the guy? There's the leader of the new Democratic Party in Canada was having some kind of a speech, and he was saying people that don't wear masks are just so selfish and all this stuff, and you go out in public, and then the next day he was seen out in public hugging somebody without a mask on.
Well, yeah, it's
like
all do
hypocrite.
as I say, not as I,
Yeah.
or, do as I do, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Whatever that is. And then also, something that caught my eye today is remember a few weeks back we talked about that hospital in Houston that gave their employees, I think June 7th as a deadline to get the jab or be fired? Well, it sounds like that same hospital is now suing them. 117 employees sue Houston Hospital for mandating they become COVID vaccine guinea pigs. A hospital in Houston is being sued for mandating its employees to be vaccinated for COVID-19 as a condition for employment. The lawsuit filed by attorney Jared R. Woodfill on behalf of 117 employees at Houston Methodist Hospital marks the biggest lawsuit filed by employees of a medical facility in the age of COVID-19. A statement by Woodfill regarding the lawsuit utilizes language often used by COVID vaccine skeptics, particularly the notion that it's not truly a vaccine, but a drug, I can't say otherwise, YouTube will censor us, that modifies genes in its recipients. This information, though debunked by many mainstream media fact checkers, is actually the accepted classification among most reputable medical professionals. So I think if this happens more around the country, that might end up saving my job. Because the hospital that I work for are going to see these stories and think, well, we don't want that to happen to us.
Yeah, it depends what happens here. with
Exactly.
this.
It's going to really depend on the outcome of this case. I feel like this is going to set a
Don't you think they're
precedent.
just going to say they're just going to say you have to get the vaccine and just make it go
I don't
away?
know.
The judge is just going to dismiss the lawsuit. Say, well,
You mean the case?
Yeah, you're a medical facility. It's required.
I don't know. I think that they've got a pretty good argument. Now, if this had been a vaccine that had gone through its paces and blah, 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 FDA approved, probably they would have lost. But given where we are right now in this process, I don't know.
Do you see the picture down below that story?
No.
It's a picture of the big guy with Franklin D. Roosevelt.
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
Biden?
Yeah.
He's the big guy?
Yeah.
Is that what they're calling him now?
No, aren't you familiar with that?
What? No.
Well, when Hunter Biden's laptop surfaced back before the election, and the New York Post was reporting on it, there was emails between Hunter Biden and his business partners, and they were saying, we're going to make this much money, and the big guy gets 10%. And some of the other people that were parties to the emails were coming forward and say the big guy is Joe Biden.
So it was code.
Yeah, the big guy. They wouldn't call him.
Yeah.
Biden. They would say the big guy.
Because then they can get away with, the big guy. We didn't specifically name anybody, so we can get away with whatever.
This one
It's all
CEO,
about
Tony
language, people.
Yeah, Tony Bobulinski came forward.
Bobulinski?
Yeah,
What a great name.
He came forward and
Hi, my
said
name is
the big guy is Joe
Bobulinski.
Biden. That's everybody knew it. That's we didn't have to say it because they all knew that the big guy was Joe Biden. He was getting a 10% cut of all these foreign business deals.
And now he's president.
Yep, and that was a story that was censored by Facebook and Twitter and everybody else.
Of course it was, because it puts them in a bad light, and we couldn't possibly do that. We don't want to make them look bad, and then possibly people start doubting and questioning things. We can't have that.
Yes,
we must have a country full of robots to say, yes, sir, how high, sir?
Yeah, speech that is censored, isn't it usually the truth? Why else would they censor something?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess you could censor something if it was pornographic or something, but typically just regular speech that's censored, isn't it? The reason they're censoring it is because it's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, what else?
Like
what other
this,
possible reason would you have for censoring it?
Right, like this story about the virus being manufactured in the lab in China.
Oh yeah.
That was taken down by Facebook and Twitter, and
this time last year.
Yeah, and now it turns out that they're thinking, well, that's kind of a plausible thing.
Yeah, and Trump was called all kinds of names for even suggesting it, and we were conspiracy theorists for even thinking it could be true.
Right, it's now considered a plausible story, and Facebook now is allowing that story.
And I think it's only gotten to this stage because the story has gotten so big and it's gotten so globally known that the left can no longer even hope to hide it.
You think that's why? Don't you think it's kind of curious that this is coming out now? Do you think there's more to the story?
I think there's always more to the story.
Like maybe they're going to somehow put this back on President Trump or something.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, they blame Trump for everything.
Why else would they be allowing the story now? Would
well,
Facebook
again,
be allowing the story?
it's because I think it's gotten too big for them to contain. And now they're trying to play damage control and say, oh, yeah, that must be it. Because they can't continue to deny it when the story's so big and it's now more and more people are even know of the story.
Yeah, I mean,
evidence comes out. They have to save face, man.
A large percentage of people, that's all they get their news just from Facebook.
Isn't that sad? Think about that for a second.
It's pretty amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
Just think about all the censorship that happens there.
Yeah, for sure.
So people are just not informed about what's going on.
Yeah, and speaking of Biden, economic confidence tanks under Biden. Despite being handed the perfect conditions for an economic boom, Biden doesn't have the faith of the American people to get our economy booming again, according to a new Gallup poll, which again, who are they polling? According to the poll released on Monday, 27% of Americans now rate current economic conditions as excellent or good, while 30% rate them as poor. Meanwhile, 43% say the economy is getting better, and 53% say it's getting worse.
Well, I mean, it really had nowhere to go but up after 2020.
True. True. Because we did end 2020 pretty dismally.
Yeah, the fact that it's just not roaring right now kind of tells you something.
But Biden does have a great opportunity to really make it fly, and he's choosing to pass all of the try to pass all these bills for just the most stupid things. In fact, I should have linked it here on this, but there's a video of Rand Paul. My gosh, I love that man, who's talking about all the stuff that these bills, like this current however many trillions of dollars he's trying to get passed this time, where some of this money is going. And it's absolutely, I kid you not, one of them is it a cricket or a lizard? It's a lizard. They're trying to determine how long a lizard can do a treadmill. Oh, I kid you not. It is, some of the things are absolutely
how long a lizard can last on a treadmill?
Now, I don't know if it's the endurance of the lizard or if they've injected the lizard with something and they're trying to figure out how long it can go. I don't know. But there's something that they are putting lizards on treadmills. And just that's one small example of all the crap that's in these bills that they're trying to pass. And again, who pays for all this stuff? We do. Money does not fall from trees. So the fact that they're wasting all of this money on these asinine, stupid studies and projects, whereas if you're going to spend that money, put it toward the American people, the economy, the homeless, education, yada, yada, yada. There's so many more places you can spend that money that would do good for the American people. And so anyway, it was just, I should have put it on here because it was pretty fun to watch. Because Rand Paul, he's just so scathing in his presentations. It's so satisfying to watch him. But inflation under Biden continues as prices went up 3.6% in April. And like we're even noticing this on a small scale. We went to go get some ice cream tonight.
Prices definitely going up.
And we went to a really great, delicious ice cream place. We love going there, but they're expensive anyway. We went there tonight, and it was $13 for two little ice cream like specialties, like Sundays or whatever.
Restaurants especially have been hit, and they're having to, jack up their wages just to get people to come to work, first of all,
Yeah. So inflation is definitely on the way. Definitely here, for sure.
Supposedly this is the highest gas prices for Memorial Day weekend in the last 7 years. I saw that someplace today, yeah.
Well, but it typically rises around Memorial Day and Labor Day, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because of the formula changes or something like that.
I don't know something about the refineries or something.
Yeah.
But it's the highest it's been in 7 years.
More states offering return to work bonuses as businesses struggle to hire workers. A growing number of states are offering a one-time cash bonus to Americans who return to the workforce, part of a broader initiative designed to help businesses that are struggling to hire new employees. At least 4 Republican-led states, Arizona, Montana, New Hampshire, and Oklahoma, will give workers up to $2,000 when they accept a new job. The initiative is in lieu of the federal unemployment program that provided out-of-work Americans with an extra $300 a week on top of their regular state benefits. In Arizona, we're going to use federal money to encourage people to work instead of paying people not to work, Governor Doug Ducey said last week. I mean, you're in bad shape when you have to pay people to come work for you, like before they even get in the door.
Yeah, there's all kinds of incentives and bonuses going on out there.
Yeah, and then on Twitter, because I'm on Twitter a lot, and people are just outraged that their unemployment benefits are going away. Well, yeah, of course they're outraged because now they have no choice but to get out and work like every other responsible American person. And it just irritates me when they're like, well, I just can't do that and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's called adulting. You got to get out there and earn your keep. Yeah, what makes you
think you should get paid for doing nothing?
I mean, I don't understand where this mentality has come from. You have to, but you are a human. You have responsibilities. You have bills. You have to get out and make money so you can meet those responsibilities. I don't understand where this mentality has come from, where they just expect other people to take care of them.
I think it's just the snowflake generation.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
They got a trophy for participating and everything.
Yes. And I don't even blame the generation. They were brought up to believe that. So I blame the parents.
Yeah.
The parents and the education system.
People are getting used to getting these payments. It's going to be hard to wean people off of all these payments and stimulus checks and things like that.
I'm sorry, but reality check. You can't have realistically thought that was going to happen or going to continue for the rest of your life. You had to have known there's going to be an end date, a deadline on that somewhere. And people that didn't think that are just not thinking, I guess, or wishful thinking.
Yeah, so we had a federal judge that ruled that it's in a Christian college that males should be allowed to shower with females.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's in New York, right? Or California?
No, I thought it was in our state, wasn't it?
It's in Branson.
It's
in Hollister, Missouri, at School of the Ozarks.
It's a prominent and very reputable Christian college.
And the judge...
which I am just shocked by this. I can't believe that this judge is allowing this.
He ruled that students of the opposite biological sex must be allowed to share showers in dorms at a Christian college in Missouri, which is down in just south of Branson here.
What could possibly go wrong? Seriously. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. I mean, and assaults and battery and just, I can't.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for those kids down there. That's insane. That's
really
straight up insane.
A wonderful college down there.
They're a fantastic college.
They instill the work ethic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they you have jobs. Mm-hmm. You have to, work at the airport. There's an airport there. You have to do. That's part of
their tuition.
Yeah.
Is that they have to work it off.
Yeah.
In exchange for being allowed to go to that school, which was fantastic. Get out of all these huge student debts and things like that. But
that actually, I heard about that on a national radio show. I didn't even hear about that locally.
Is insane that is happening in our part of the country. That's something that you would definitely expect in a blue state.
How are they possibly going to handle that or monitor that?
I really don't know. I am absolutely shocked. I hope they appeal it. I hope that they get out of it.
Definitely will be.
That's insanity.
That's crazy.
Personified.
We have a mental health crisis in this country with.
For sure.
With that and people that are, that and spiritual.
For sure.
Crisis.
Absolutely. 100%.
Living in fear.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, fearing death and everything. I mean, no one wants to die, obviously, but everyone is going to die at some point, which is all the more reason why you need to enjoy your life while you can instead of hiding from it and being scared of it. Regardless of whether you have faith or you don't, life is precious for everyone, and you should enjoy it.
Did you see the graphic I've got on number 14? It's a person saying, "I'm scared."
Yeah.
And then the next slide is, "Here's proof that you don't need to be scared." And the guy goes, "I don't want proof. I want to be scared."
I know.
A certain number of people just like living their lives in fear.
For some reason, they're comfortable in their fear, and I don't know why. I just think it's sad. I think it's sad that's where their mindsets are.
Well, if you don't have hope.
Isn't that just...
Yeah.
Isn't that just sad to live your life with no hope, no faith? I'm sorry, but I think that's... I'm sorry. That's a dark place to be. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people
maybe
are
they just haven't heard the truth.
Yeah,
heard the word. Okay, we're getting up there on time.
Well, and then to back up on that for a minute, I mean, if you are interested in looking at any of this, we've got a resource website. It's called truthertradition.com. They have great resources about faith and God and everlasting life and hope. And so, if you're in a dark place and you're looking for some kind of light, check it out. Maybe it'll help you. I don't know. Let's see. That's pretty much all I had. Ted Cruz introduces bill to block Biden administration from enacting vaccine passport requirements. Here's the thing, though. Biden's already come out to say that he's not going to mandate it.
He's already said, but then the Health and Human Services director they said they were looking into it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even if the federal government says no, that still is not going to prevent private businesses from requiring it.
Yeah.
Now, Ron DeSantis...
If they do, then you just know which ones not to go to.
Right. And Ron DeSantis, I believe, passed in the state of Florida that even businesses were not allowed to mandate vaccine passports, which I have mixed feelings about that because on one hand, you've got the government telling private businesses what they can and cannot do.
Yeah, but if a business is like restricting someone's right or privacy, then I think that would
you
be...
think all bets are off on that?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine to not allow that. Don't you think?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because, here we are touting government, stay out of our business. But then in certain cases, we're like, yes, government, go for it,
Yeah,
So
if you got a business that's like restricting somebody's rights or being racist or something, then you should not allow that,
Speaking of, what's that book you're reading right now? We won't talk about it this time, but I think we should definitely talk about it at some
point. It's liberal fascism. It's just talking about how the left... the left is always calling the conservatives and the right fascists, And it's just like a dirty word. You're a fascist, But in all actuality, the left is the ones that have the fascist programs. And
yeah, they're so good at flipping it around.
Fascism, the definition of fascism basically is private ownership but complete government control of everything, which is what we've got in a lot of cases. Like, you can't even buy the kind of light bulb that you want in many cases because of all the regulations, and you can't buy a toilet that you want because of government regulations. So
because we have to save the earth, that's too much water.
Yeah, and the left always comes up with all of these crises in order to restrict, like started like in wartime, they'll put in regulations, or after 9/11, or never let a crisis go to waste. Basically, is what they want. They want to put in more regulations every time there's a crisis. And along with this pandemic, the dim panic, they enacted just tons of regulations and restrictions.
And then they had a hard time letting them go.
Yeah.
I mean, look how long it's taken us to get back to normal when, we were supposed to have 15 days to slow the spread.
Yeah.
But on one hand, I mean, now you have to understand, conservatives are not completely against government. Now, libertarians, they basically are. They want government completely out of their lives. Conservatives want government, they want limited government. And by that I mean, going back to your light bulb example, if we didn't have regulations on some of these light bulbs and people could just use whatever they wanted, I mean, there would be some manufacturers that would give you light bulbs that would explode or be unsafe or something like that. So some regulations are necessary, I feel like, to give you guidelines.
Yeah, but if you had a light bulb that was exploding, people would not buy it.
True.
You should try to rely on market forces more than anything. If you have a great product, the people are going to buy it.
True.
Rather than trying to shove, like some of these light bulbs that they've got out there now, they're so expensive. It's just ridiculously expensive, and they don't last very long.
Well, but they tout they're going to last 25 years.
Yeah, I know. On the package
actuality,
it says
it lasts like 3 years.
Yeah, or if that.
Which is really funny,
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but it's an interesting book. Talks about how the left is really good at language and labeling people and putting people on the defensive and all that stuff. I think it would be something to really delve into.
We'll talk about it
in
in
more
a couple
detail.
weeks.
Yeah, you'll have to give me the cliff notes of the book because I could read it, but that's why I have you for.
It's one of those books that I basically had to have a dictionary by my side the entire time because there's too many big words.
Well, hey, I've had to do that before.
I don't like all those big words.
But I think that's kind of underlines the whole problem nowadays with people and issues is that it's so complicated you can't even understand it, and so people don't try. They just it's easier just to tell me, just like I said to you, just tell me the cliff notes and then we'll be good. Yeah. And that's kind of a dangerous way of thinking, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Let's
get to the good stuff.
The questions.
Oh,
we need like a little blurb or a slide through, like some kind of transition into the best part of the video.
What do you want to call it?
I don't know. Something that like questions I love or something like that. Getting to know us or something like that. Okay. So let's go to some random conversation starter questions. What was the last funny video you saw?
The last funny video, actually, I was watching a little blurb from the movie The Jerk the other day. This radio announcer that I was listening to was talking about the segment in The Jerk where Steve Martin was somebody was up on the hillside shooting at him, and they were missing and hitting the cans. And he was saying, "They don't like these cans. They don't like these cans. Look, they're shooting at the cans." He was so
not realizing they were shooting at him.
I actually laughed at that.
You actually laughed out loud.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking back to a time when movies actually used to be funny.
I know,
and you'd laugh.
Side note, that reminds me that I don't know if you know you didn't really ever watch Friends, did you?
I watched it.
I thought they had some pretty funny episodes. But anyway, they had a Friends reunion. And apparently made a lot of people mad because it wasn't diverse enough. Isn't that crazy? You can't win nowadays. And actors are begging people to go back to movie theaters to watch movies because obviously it's, it's affecting their bottom line.
A lot of people are boycotting movies or just not going because of all the wokeness that's...
Yes.
Like, aren't they coming up with a new Superman that's maybe is it a female
Who
Superman?
knows?
I don't know.
It's probably a transgender Superman, super person, Superwoman,
and
whatever.
People go to sports and to movies to get away from that stuff.
They don't want to go someplace and have it shoved down their throat again.
Right.
The last funny video that I saw, it's really stupid, and it was probably fake, but it made me laugh out loud. So there's a boat on this lake, and they're filming some cute little ducks off in the distance, like a mama and her cute little ducklings. And then all of a sudden they switch around to the back of the boat and there's this hippo, or it looks like a big hippo, like diving, like swimming after them. So the boat has to start speeding up and getting away from this big, huge hippo, which I don't even know. Can hippos like do that? I don't it looked like a big hippo.
I think they can.
But he looked like he was pretty angry. So he was chasing this boat and they had this really, like just crazy music. And it was just hilarious. It was a TikTok video. Have you ever been on TikTok?
No.
Holy cow. That's a black hole you should not go down. But I tell you what, there are some really funny videos on TikTok. I don't know.
That is one place I have never been.
I'm telling you, Kevin, there's some pretty good TikToks, I have to say. It makes you really laugh. What do you do to get rid of stress? Do you do anything specifically to get rid of stress?
What do you do?
I honestly just kind of, like at work, when there's a really stressful day going on, I usually go to the bathroom and just kind of take a lot of deep breaths.
Throw up?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. Yeah. But I have to just take some deep breaths and just like focus on like calming my heart down and just breathing. And there have been times I've actually had to walk away and go for a little walk in the hospital because I'm stressed out.
Breathing helps.
I guess really getting away from this situation is how I deal with stress. Just distancing myself physically.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, breathing exercises. If I'm at home, I can play the guitar. That usually is relaxing.
Yeah, that's true. I know a lot of people play video games, things like that, to get away from it and
something to distract you.
Yeah, exactly. What is something you are obsessed with? I don't really...
you.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of which...
What?
It's our 31st anniversary this week.
Yeah.
We actually had an anniversary week because our anniversary fell on a Wednesday and I had to work late. So we never even saw each other on our anniversary, as a matter of fact. Because I worked late and then you were doing your projects and I went to bed. But we've gone out to eat a couple times and stuff this week. We're having an anniversary week, but 31 years, hon.
Yeah. Happy anniversary.
I like how he goes, yeah. 31 long years of being married to me. What a lucky man. What a lucky man he is.
I am the luckiest man in the world.
Honestly, I can't, to be honest with you, I can't even imagine. I can't understand why he's even still with me. I mean, contrary to popular belief, I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I know, it's hard to believe, but imagine if you will. No, seriously though, 31 years. Not a lot of people can say that nowadays. Do you notice how I looked at my computer to see what other questions are coming up because you're getting tired of that? I know him, people. I've been with him 31 years. Well, actually more than that, but before we got married. So are you, okay, so really, do you have anything you're obsessed with, like currently, like there's something like a food you're just wanting to eat all the time?
I pretty much go from one obsession to the next.
Yeah, I would agree with that for you.
I really, when I get interested in something, I just get obsessed with it.
You do. You're very focused.
Like last year at this time, I was obsessed with the violin.
Yeah, that's true.
And, not only was I learning to play a violin, but every time I would see a violin, I would buy it.
Yeah.
And, the guitar, that has been an obsession basically for most of my life, but I kind of go in and out on that. Another thing is guitar amplifiers.
Building them
Building guitar amplifiers
from scratch. Like he'll buy them.
have gotten obsessed with that over the years, off and on.
I have to say that's one thing
And
I really admire
right now,
about
I'm
you.
obsessed with building the travel trailer.
Yeah, which I can't wait. It's coming along really nicely. If you haven't seen our video, we updated it last week and put it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Actually, it's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's on my blog. It's writefromkaren.com.
Yeah, so basically, I get obsessed.
You do. And you know what? I have to say that's one thing I really admire about you. I don't even know if you would say obsessed. I just think you get really focused on one thing. And you're like a bulldog. You just won't let it go until you've figured it out or conquered it. And I wish I had that trait. I give up too easily.
That's why I've never given up on Karen, because I have not conquered her yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's probably a good thing, honestly, because I mean, you probably could have a couple of times, but it's something I really admire about you. I wish I had that trait. I give up too easily, and I would say
it's like puzzles. I don't do puzzles that much anymore, but I have projects basically that
well, you
sort
do
of
a lot
replaced
of
my
problem
puzzles.
solving, which is
Problem
very
solving.
much puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't have the patience for it.
And
I wish I did.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night thinking about the solution for the problem or the project.
I think that's a good trait to have. Well, I definitely don't have
in some
that
ways
trait.
it is, but in other ways it's kind of nice. Be kind of nice to get some sleep.
Yeah. You have difficulty shutting your brain off. That's for sure.
Yeah, not as much trouble as I used to.
No, you're definitely better than you used to be. But then again, your job situation's not as stressful as it used to be either. You used to be under a tremendous amount of stress. What 3 words best describe you? Let's see. Do you have your 3 words?
No.
I'm opinionated. I am... Man, this is hard.
Sassy.
I am sassy. I am definitely sassy. That's not necessarily a good thing. But
intelligent.
Well, thank you.
Smart.
I didn't want to say it, but it makes it sound like I'm bragging. Well, if the shoe fits.
Yeah.
But well, thank you for saying that. That's nice.
That's true.
Okay, for you, you're focused. You're jack of all trades. I mean, you're very talented in fixing things. You are very good at that.
Yeah, it just kind of goes back to problem solving, because I like to find the solutions.
But
to
not
fix
just
something.
you not only find a solution, you implement it.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel like a lot of people can do. Like just your whole carpentry skills and stuff, which you've never done before, and it looks fantastic. You always are just so good at whatever you tackle. I think that's quite a talent. And then what would be a 3rd word for you? You're very kind.
Genius.
You are very
No,
smart.
it's
You are very smart.
Not.
How can you? I think that goes along with problem solving.
Yeah.
You can't not be smart and be a good problem solver, I feel like. But you're a very kind person. You are a much better person than I am.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, he is. He really is. You are a very kind
That's not
and
true.
compassionate person. Yes, he is. What are you going to do this weekend? So we have a 3-day weekend. It's Memorial Weekend. And what are you going to do tomorrow and Monday? What are your plans? I know you have plans.
I've got this travel trailer project I'm working on. Today I put in a exhaust fan and the plumbing in the kitchen. It's basically like building a little house. I was thinking about that.
Absolutely.
Essentially, I'm building a house.
Yeah, for sure.
And tomorrow I'm putting in a door latch, and the paneling in the bathroom.
Yeah, now we're doing something a little different. Well, when I say we, it's him. I've been zero help on this thing. But he is not putting in like water tanks, which simplifies your life in a lot of ways, right?
We looked at buying an RV, and there's so much on an RV that we don't need. Like, we don't need water tanks. We don't need, like, solar panels. We don't need a furnace.
Well,
because we're only going to be at campgrounds that have hookups, electrical hookups, and
we're not going to
hookups.
be boondogging it.
So we don't need tanks.
Is it boondocking?
Boondocking, I think so.
I said boondogging.
Boondog. What's a boondog?
I don't know. But yeah, we'll always be at campgrounds. So we don't really need that stuff and we don't have a shower because we're always going to use the shower at the campground.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff we don't really need.
Some of these campgrounds have really, really nice facilities.
Yeah, they really do. So why not take advantage of that
Yeah.
and not have to deal with the gray water stuff and all that.
Yeah, dumping your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then, so you do have plans on just doing that all weekend, just working on the trailer?
I gotta check the oil and antifreeze on my truck. And a couple things on that, and I've got to do some landscaping work.
Are you going to do any treasure hunting for your booths?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. Probably not, though. I hadn't planned on it.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you doing?
Oh, nothing. Read, write, relax. The 3 R's, even though it's not 3 R's, but
That's... Yeah.
I know. All right, and how are we doing on time?
We are way up there on time.
Oh, we're good. What are you talking about?
It's about that time.
No, we're in good shape. A couple more questions. What do you think of tattoos, and do you have any?
I'm not gonna say anything about tattoos. I mean, I just want to say that if you have people have beautiful skin, the Lord gave you beautiful skin, and it's beautiful. That's all I'm going to say.
It's just,
if you want a tattoo, that's great.
I mean, yeah,
But
it's up to you. It's your body.
I think just skin is beautiful.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
That's a very tactful way of putting it.
If someone wants a tattoo, that's great.
Yeah. Again, it's your body, your choice. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I personally don't have any. I don't plan on getting any. So, but I've never really seen a lot of tattoos that I've thought were pretty, personally. But again, it's not my body. And
Yeah.
it wasn't my choice.
The Bible says that the Lord has our names tattooed on the palms of His hands.
Oh wow, that's cool. Where's that?
That'd be a pretty sensitive. That's in Psalms, I think. That'd be a pretty sensitive place to get a
no
tattoo.
kidding. That would be. Do you have any pets, and what are their names?
I don't have any pets.
We do not have any pets. We do not have any desire to have cats or dogs or anything like that.
I think I might want to get a fish tank someday.
Oh, Lord. We used to have quite a few fish when the boys were growing up.
I used to always be really fascinated by fish.
Well, fish are cool.
I'm still fascinated. I mean, I got a fake fish tank on my TV that I watch sometimes. It's on the Roku, what do you call it, the screen.
Which, that kind of makes sense to me because you also are very fascinated by watching the NASA station. Have you ever watched the NASA station where they're like literally they move 1 inch like every 2 or 3 seconds like this? And it's super quiet. And you look over and Kevin's just like...
I have not actually done that in quite some time. But I did used to watch the NASA channel and the Weather Channel all the time.
But then we'll be sitting there watching like an action flick or whatever. And I'm like, I look over like, oh my gosh, Kevin, did you see?
I don't know what it is about movies, but it just puts me to sleep. Especially if it's something like James Bond where it's obviously not realistic. I just after about 5 minutes.
But it's a movie. It's not really supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be fun and adventurous and just an escape route. But okay, here's my point in bringing that up though. To me, like I read a lot. I love to read. And honestly, that kind of goes back to that stress question. That takes me out of my mind, out of my head. It distracts me and puts me someplace else. That relaxes me. That helps me de-stress. I feel like that's what you do with the NASA station and watching fish and things like that. It gives your mind a chance to just de-stress.
Just relax for a change.
Yes, and not think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially used to, I would be completely focused all day long.
Yes. And that's exhausting.
Yeah. And I would just come home and do something that required no
thinking. That's why when I come home from work, I sit there and watch YouTube videos for hours because it just requires zero thought from me.
Actually, I was looking for...
And plus, people are entertaining.
When I was watching the NASA channel, I was trying to look for UFOs. Have you seen the UFO videos?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because I like the Daily Wire guys. I like to watch when they do their backstage. They sit in a room and they debate a bunch of stuff. And they were talking about the UFOs, and they were having a very lively debate between them. And Matt Walsh is one of them, and I really like the guy. And he's talking about how he is almost like he believes it. He believes the UFOs. And here's his reasoning, which kind of makes sense to me. So, back in the day, you get these pixelated pictures of these smudges, and people would say they're, UFOs and all that stuff. And there was never really any hard evidence to collaborate any of these images and theories and everything. But here lately, we've seen these better pictures, and like 4 Navy pilot, not Navy pilots. What am I trying to say? Air Force pilots, military guys, anyway, have seen these objects, 4 of them, independently describe the exact same thing they saw in the sky. And just other evidence that has come out lately that's kind of convinced him that he thinks UFOs are a thing. Whereas the opposite side said, but when you think about it, they've always seen this object in restricted airspace, i.e. airspace that they test new technology in. So who knows though what you saw was new technology.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's got to be. It's definitely some sort of craft, not alien, but just some sort of spacecraft or something that the Air Force is working on, or something that a foreign country is using to spy on us with, or something like that, don't you think?
Yeah, but then Matt has brought up a point that I always bring up too. I mean, it's like the universe is massive. And to think that we are the only intelligent life in the entire galaxy, universe.
Yeah. So what's wrong with that?
But it just seems so improbable.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think there's definitely possibly some form of something that would be considered life out there, but not I wouldn't think intelligent life.
Who's to say humans are intelligent?
That's true. I mean, yeah, what did Einstein say?
I mean, we're a life source. We're not necessarily... Maybe there's a civilization out there that's 1,000 times more intelligent than we are. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. It's an interesting debate.
I think if it was out there, we would know about it already.
Oh.
Don't you think?
No, I don't. Because I think that in relation to other... I mean, who's to say that our civilization's like in the infant stages compared to other civilizations that have been out there for millions of years?
I just think that if it was out there, we would know about it already.
Did you guys notice that little sigh? That's his. I'm tired of this conversation and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Anyway. Okay, so I think that's really all I have for this week. How about you?
That's all I know.
So happy anniversary.
Thank you. Happy anniversary.
Quick story behind that. Our very first anniversary, we lived in a rental house. And you spent how many hours printing out? Now, this was back in the day.
Back in the day when you had dot matrix printers, when it took like, an hour forever to print something.
So he printed out this happy anniversary banner for me to hang up on the wall.
I don't know, it was probably 20 feet long.
Yeah, it was huge. So I would see it when I got home from work, but he misspelled anniversary.
I forgot the R.
He forgot the R. So now every anniversary we say happy anniversary, because that's what his banner said.
Yeah. See, she just keeps perpetuating my mistakes for 31 years.
But that was a cute mistake, though. I love it. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We've taken up too much of your time. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for watching and listening.
We're on YouTube and Rumble, and I've got my blog, writefromkaren.com, if you want to take a peek over there. And you're not really on any social media. You're not really a big social media person.
I'm not very social.
I'm on Twitter. I usually am lurking now.
How can you stand that?
Oh, I love Twitter. I think it's awesome. But anyway. Okay. Right. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye. She wearing a mask inside her house.
And there it is. It goes straight into my arm. That's where I got the shot. And here's the magnet on the arm I didn't get the shot. You go figure it out. We're chips and we're all fucked.
Well, why'd you get it, dumbass? She acts like she's pissed. It's like, well, you're the one that made the decision to get it.
Yeah. You dummy. What's wrong with you?
I don't know if I believe this or not.
Well, I tried it with a magnet, and I could kind of get it stick on my arm.
Weird. It almost wants to stick on
Yeah,
the
but you-
bottom side and pushes.
Now that one, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Wants to stick.
Look at that.
Now,
yeah.
now it's
See?
Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
definitely some magnetic
There's
force there.
push it over.
There's something weird there for sure.